man was Hernando de Soto. Won't you solo go show off your photos, throw out your Twinkies, throw up your ho-hos, tuck in them pinkies, them shits a no-no. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto, brought to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8 subscriber, I'm a fagoso, jump in them sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. We're going to be covering mostly Sarah Boone tonight, but I do want to give you the follow-up information I found on Mr. Peacock. Let's see who's here. News No Enemy, good to see you, Parson 1122. Good to see you too, Christo. Of course, always a pleasure. Welsh News Network and Yo Mama. Good to see you. Let's start with, well, first of all, let me introduce my extra co-hosts. I have a couple extra co-hosts today. This is Leia. Everybody say hi, Leia. And then behind Xena back there, Luke is back there. We are dog sitting. So we have a couple extra pooches here. Hey, Luke. How are you? Luke's an old man. And Xena's, of course, my co-host. She's here. How's everybody doing today? Did you go vote yet? You should go vote if you haven't yet. So I went yesterday morning. I stood in line for like an hour and I was there before the polls even opened. So if you haven't voted yet, you should definitely do that. Not the last, well, yeah, I guess it was the last time I was live with Kafar this past week. We saw the story of Mr. Peacock. And if you recall correctly, he assaulted a kid basically because he drove too close to him, and the officer ended up giving the kid a ticket for going too close to the dude, and then also gave Mr. Peacock a ticket for, well, we'll read the story and we'll see. Dashcam footage shows the driver steered left and a judge dismissed his ticket on Friday. Pierce Kempton, age 22, won't need to pay a $130 fine for passing a cyclist too closely on Park Avenue. That's because the Park City's attorney's office asked a judge to dismiss the case October 11th after reviewing the dashboard camera footage from Kempton's car. The cyclist, Gary Peacock, paid a $160 disorderly conduct fine. Excuse me, I had a frog in my throat. Let me try that sentence again. Give me 1 second to clear my throat. The cyclist, Gary Peacock, paid a $160 disorderly conduct fine. The 73-year-old said that Kempton did not give him the required 3 feet while passing him on the narrowest part of Park Avenue. Kempton told KPCW Peacock signed as the witness on the ticket. His dash cam shows that he did steer left before passing, but the angle doesn't show the exact distance between the two men. Let's watch the dash cam footage. This kid did nothing wrong. So you see him there. He moves over a little bit, but there's also oncoming traffic. So what's he supposed to do? Steer into the oncoming traffic? No. So it was a happy ending all around.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, that one's unbelievable. It's so exposed. You didn't get the whole thing. It's like 8 miles out back.
Hold on, I have a guy. Hold on. Yes, sir?
Did you see me?
Pulled off to the side, I did.
Yeah, so we'll play the beginning part of that again. You can see he totally pulled over for that cyclist. There he is there. And he moves over just a little bit, but there is an oncoming car. So there you have it. The verdict is in. Peacock got the disorderly conduct charge. The kids' charges were dismissed. Now, on to the main event. I didn't want to leave that one since I did get more information on it. I wanted to share it with you guys. But here's why we're all here. Sarah Boone. This week, Sarah Boone's trial. This is the woman who locked her boyfriend, George Torres, in a suitcase and left him there to die. Her trial was this week and it wrapped up on Friday very late. It was after I got off the air with Frank. It had to be like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. The jury stayed and deliberated and came in with a verdict, which we will see here in a couple of minutes. But first, I want to show you a couple of things from the trial. Obviously, I can't show you the entire 6-day trial because I'm only one person. But you can go to the Law and Crime Network and watch the whole thing if you'd like to. But I want to show you the cross-examination of Sarah Boone, and then I have some videos that I want to play for you that was played at the end of the second to the last day that really shows what type of person she is. And then we'll show the verdict. The verdict part is very short. I believe her sentencing is going to be on December 2nd, and I think I'm going to try to take the day off work and stream that live. I mean, I need to see if it's possible that I could take that day off, but I will let you guys know in between now and December 2nd.
Did George know somebody named Crystal? Did you ever mention Crystal in your text messages about being one of his bitches?
I don't know. I don't remember.
How about Christine? Did George know a Christine?
I don't know.
How about a Pamela Erickson?
These may have been people that he was communicating with on whatever the platform was.
On your phone?
I believe so, yes.
And did you find these communications?
I believe I found 1 or 2 of them from some of them.
And did you send a long letter to his family to relay to him about George and his girls that he was cheating on you with?
I believe so.
Okay, so you do know those names, right?
I don't remember them. It's been however long.
Okay. Now, on February 24th, 2020, you called 911 at about 1 p.m., correct?
Yes.
And at that point, you were still feeling a little intoxicated, were you not?
It was more shock, but yes.
So you agree that you previously stated, I was still, I believe, intoxicated to a degree?
To a degree, yes.
So 1 p.m., it's about 14 hours after 11 p.m. the night before, correct?
I'm guessing so.
All right. Well, 12 hours prior would be 1 a.m., and then 12 a.m. is 13 hours, 11 p.m. is 14 hours, correct?
Okay.
And you were present here for the medical examiner, Dr. Zadovich, to testify, correct?
Yes.
And you heard her talk about all the effects of ethanol that it has on the human body, correct?
Yes.
And she also mentioned something that it, on average, dissipates at about 0.015 an hour. Do you recall that?
I believe so.
Okay. So, would it be fair to say that if you're still feeling the effects of the alcohol at 1 p.m., so that's 14 hours, 0.015.
If you guys don't mind, I'm going to make it a little
You're
bit
at approximately
faster.
about 0.21 at 11 p.m. the night before. Do you feel like you were
Let's do
2.5 times the
1.5. If
legal
it's
at
too
that
fast,
time?
let me know in the chat.
I don't know how you came to that number.
Judge, I'll object.
February 22nd and the 2 that were purchased on February 23rd, 2020.
That's too fast.
I'm guessing it was like the level this.
All right, and it's 1.5 liters. Would you agree?
So this part of the trial, when I was watching this live, I was shocked. Because the whole time during the police interrogation that we watched together And throughout this whole thing, the whole 4 years, I was thinking that they had drank 2 bottles of wine. And I was thinking, well, geez, if I were to drink a whole bottle of wine, I would be pretty drunk too. Well, it was 2.5 because they had half a bottle left from the day before. But this, do you see the size of this bottle? This is the same as 2 full bottles of wine. They had 2.5 that size bottle. So they had equivalent of 5 bottles of wine that day. 5. That's crazy. That's a crazy amount of alcohol, in my opinion. And for her to just say over and over again that she wasn't drunk, she just had a couple of sips, that's insane.
And so would you agree that this is one of the 3 bottles that was purchased between February 22nd and the 2 that were purchased on February 23rd of 2020?
I'm guessing
Okay.
it is like the bottle, yes.
All right, and it's 1.5 liters. Would you agree? And when you say half, are we talking about the top of the label was left from the day before?
Oh, goodness, no.
All right, a little less, halfway through the label?
It's right about.
Okay, about halfway through the label. So in addition to halfway through the label, which you began consuming after going to public at about 12:15, correct? So you all would have began consuming around 12:30, is it fair to say, when you got back?
I can't recall exactly.
Okay. And after finishing what you all had left over from Saturday, the 2 of you consumed 2 1.5 liter bottles, correct?
I'm not sure about the second bottle that he purchased, if it was empty or not at the time.
Well, you did mention that the police would find 2 empty bottles in the top of your trash, correct?
Yes.
And we did all see that in the photographs, correct?
See that
Two.
they're empty in the garbage, yes.
All right, and you say you were about 100 pounds at the time?
Yes.
And we all know Mr. Torres was 103 pounds at the time of his death, correct?
That's what I said.
All right, so that's 3 liters of wine between 200 pounds split between 2 people over the course of a day, correct?
Yes.
And you testified today that you were intoxicated at the time that this occurred, the videos between 11 and 11:30 at night, correct?
Yes, at some level, yes.
Now, what does that mean to you? Previously, have you indicated that that means the room is spinning? Do you ever recall saying that?
I do.
So what was your level of intoxication at this point in time when the first video was filmed at 11:12 p.m.?
Do you mean from lack of sleep or alcohol?
From the alcohol.
You know what he means, Sarah. Don't play stupid. Do you mean from lack of sleep? Come on now. No, it's from the 5 bottles of wine you drank. He's asking how drunk you were, Sarah.
What was my level?
What were you feeling? Did you have trouble with your balance?
I was more tired than anything.
Did you have trouble with your balance?
I don't believe so.
So you were able to flip a suitcase over with a 100-pound man in it, right?
I mean, yes, it happened.
Okay. How about your speech? Do you feel like your speech was slurred?
Clearly.
How about your inhibitions? Do you feel like you were doing things that you wouldn't do when you were sober?
I wasn't thinking about that.
Well, on reflection, do you feel like this is something you would have done when you were sober?
I didn't know me and George.
I'm just asking you, looking back on this, when he's in the suitcase and you're telling him how you feel, and then you wait 11 minutes and you film another 22 seconds and then you go upstairs, upon reflection, is that something you would have done and left him in there had you not been drinking?
I don't know. I can't say.
Okay.
If I was scared, then it would be something.
She can't say because she was always drunk every day. She didn't have a job and she was drunk every day. So she doesn't know how she would act when she was sober because she was never sober.
All right. Now, today you testified about the time frame between the two videos, correct?
Yes.
So you came down from the shower where you were hiding, correct?
Yes.
And as you're coming down the stairs, before you even get to the bottom of the stairs, you can kind of see over your shoulder or towards your right that he's trying to hide in the suitcase, correct?
Yes.
And the lid is down, but it's not closed, and you can tell he's hiding there. It's not a great hiding spot just yet, right?
Right.
And so you come over to him, and you're laughing, right?
Yes.
And you move the suitcase around some before zipping it shut, right?
No.
No? You immediately zip it shut?
Yes.
Okay. And you're both still laughing about it, correct?
Correct.
All right. And then it's during this course of time, how quickly is it after you zip it shut that you begin filming the first video?
I don't know without watching it. I don't know.
Okay, I mean, the video's not going to catch you zipping him up because you're like 10 feet away, right? How quickly after you zip him up is it before the video starts, is my question.
I don't know.
Okay. And then during that 9 minutes and 14 seconds is when he begins to get angry, correct?
What, 9 minutes?
Between the two videos, there's 9 minutes and 14 seconds between the end of 1061 and the beginning of 1062 and 1063. So you got the 2 minute, 3 second video that starts at 11:12:45, correct?
I guess.
Permission to use state 17?
You may.
Permission granted. Play it. By the way, her story morphed into from where we left off. If you guys haven't watched any of this trial, to from the time she zipped him up till she was taking those videos, she was scared because he was saying that when he gets out of the suitcase, he's going to kill her. Now, that part she didn't record. The only part she recorded was where he was begging for his life. So true, Mr. Mimsy.
All right, so we're looking at entry 31107. That indicates, according to the phone extraction, 2/23/2020, 11:12:45 p.m. Image underscore 1062 begins being captured. And we've seen that that is about 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Entry 31113 indicates that image underscore 1063.move
There was a lot of the, not as much as other trials I've seen, but there was a lot of technical difficulty when they were trying to display evidence in this case. There's been some trials I've watched where it's just every single time. Personally, I think that lawyers should have an expert, like a technology expert, to come and do this part for them.
31113.
I'm available if
A
anybody
second
needs me.
movie is captured at 11:23:03 p.m. Your testimony was that after that first video was captured by your phone and you, Mr. Torres began getting angry and trying to push his way out, correct?
Say it one more time, please.
Between these two movies, of which there's about 9 minutes and 14 seconds, Mr. Torres begins to get angry and try and push his way out and get out of the suitcase, correct?
He had been angry on and off throughout the entire day.
Okay. You didn't tell us that earlier. You said it was a wonderful, fun day all day, correct?
That's because I lived.
Okay. But you did not tell us earlier today that he had been angry throughout the day.
When would I say that?
You described your entire day of doing puzzles and arts and crafts and outside by the dartboard, and you said it was a wonderful day and everything was fun until he was in the suitcase. Did you not?
I believe her exact words were, and I will give the dogs a treat because I did just speak with the mic muted. We were having a good day. We were having a good day. She said that over and over and over again when the police were talking to her originally, and she said it again at trial when her lawyer was questioning her. They were having a good day.
Not testify to that earlier today?
I did.
Okay. My specific question between these two movies is, this is when he begins to get angry and trying to push his way out and to get out of the suitcase, correct?
Angry again, yes.
Okay. And he was expressing his anger in what manner? How did he say this?
At which point throughout the day?
Ma'am, you know very well that I'm talking about between these movies. Please answer my question. Between these two movies, how did he express his anger with you?
Told me that I was going to fucking die.
Okay. Now this is happening after he's already told you several times he cannot breathe in the suitcase, correct?
Correct.
And he's been in there for whatever brief amount of time it took you to zip him up, and the laughter stops, and then you go over to begin to film, correct?
Yes.
And you're filming. Your purpose of filming is to kind of teach him a lesson. This is your chance to say something to him when he can't say anything back to you, correct?
No.
Then correct me.
There was no lesson to be learned. It was just I wanted him to try to understand how I felt so maybe he could progress in being a better person the next day.
So you wanted him to understand how you felt in the past, and that's not teaching a lesson.
What do you think teaching him a lesson means, Sarah? What do you think it means? You wanted to teach him a lesson? No, that's not what I said. Oh no, you said that you locked him in the suitcase so he could see and videotaped him so he could see his behavior and learn from it. What do you think that is?
Lesson?
I just wanted him to understand.
Okay. All right, and so immediately prior to zipping him up and putting him into the movie, you had been upstairs, correct?
I'm sorry?
Immediately before coming down and zipping him up and then filming the first of the two movies, you had been upstairs in the shower, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to publish what has been labeled as image_1061, which according to the timeline was captured at 11:03 p.m. 31 seconds with her device. All right. Does this appear to be the suitcase that's in question in the two movies that are filmed at 11:12 and 11:23 p.m.? No?
Come on, prosecutor, get it together. Put it on the screen. Back to the instruction screen. He's going to get it.
This is image 1061 taken at 11:03 p.m. 31 seconds. Does this appear to be the blue suitcase that's in the two videos that were captured at 11:12 and 11:23 p.m.?
Correct.
She took
Did you
this
take this
picture
image
in
at
between
11:03?
the two
Yeah.
videos.
I don't remember if I did or not.
And again, we had, and by we I mean you and Mr. Torres, two 1.5 liters bottles of wine and plus whatever was left over from the day before, correct?
Correct.
So you don't remember taking this photograph?
I don't.
Do you remember whether or not Mr. Torres was in here?
I don't remember taking the photo.
Okay. So, what is your memory of what happens between 11:03 p.m. and 31 seconds when that image is captured, and then when the movie starts at 11:12:45? What do you remember?
I don't.
Okay. Do you remember anything from that night?
I do.
You told the police on February 25th, 2020, when they first showed you the video, that you didn't remember taking that. You remember that?
I do.
And your testimony is you do remember taking that video,
I do.
but you don't remember taking that photograph 9 minutes prior.
Correct.
Is there something? Did you have more to drink in those 9 minutes?
I did not.
Was Mr. Torres in that suitcase the entire time between 11:03 when that image was taken and then when the second video was taken at 11:23 p.m.?
I believe so, yes.
So for 20 minutes? Yes?
However long the time frame is.
Did he begin telling you that he couldn't breathe before the video, or do you not remember?
I don't remember.
She has a very selective memory.
Now, you testified moments ago that your two neighbors must have misremembered which night the loud noise was, correct?
Yes.
And now you're telling us that you don't remember taking the photograph at 11:03 p.m., correct?
Correct.
Did the police come out to your townhouse on Sunday, February 23rd, 2020?
Yes.
I'm talking about Sunday. This is the Sunday fun day when we're going to Publix twice. Were the police out of your residence?
No.
It was the day after, Monday the 24th, correct?
Yes.
So
And
Earlier in the trial, 2 of her neighbors said that they heard something large tumbling down the stairs in her unit at about 11 o'clock, which is when those videos were taken on the day of the incident. She testified that they are misremembering what day it was. They're misremembering it because the day before that, George had thrown me down the stairs, which is why I was so terrified of him. And they're just misremembering what day that happened. So that's what they're talking about now.
That Monday morning, you called 911, well, Monday afternoon at about 1 p.m., correct?
Yes.
And between that time frame, you were the only person in your apartment plus Mr. Torres in the suitcase, correct?
Yes.
So if anything had been disturbed in your apartment, you had all the time that you wanted to undisturb them before calling 911, correct?
If I wanted to.
Okay. And your testimony is there was no loud boom that shook the walls of your townhouse at about 11 p.m. the night of February 23rd, 2020, correct?
Correct.
To the best of your memory, correct?
Correct.
Like you throwing George down the stairs while he was in the suitcase. I believe he got into the suitcase upstairs and she threw him down the stairs before she started filming it all. I believe the neighbors did hear correctly and remembered the correct day. And I believe that she threw that suitcase down the stairs with him inside. He was bruised. He had bruises all on his back and his arms and his head. Where did those come from, Sarah? She did say she hit him with a baseball bat while he was inside the suitcase, but she said she poked him with the baseball bat, not like swung it and hit him. Just when he tried to get his fingers out to open the suitcase, and she poked him with the end of the baseball bat like a pool cue to get his fingers back in.
Now, that second video is 22 seconds where you just hear him say Sarah and you don't say anything. Are you familiar with that video, correct?
Yes.
We found out during the trial, Smith W. Smith W. says, terrified of a dude that fits in a suitcase. He was 5'3" and 103 pounds. He was a very small man.
It's after
Now,
that.
granted, she was also 5'3" and about 98 pounds at the time, so they were approximately the same size.
Go upstairs, correct?
Yes.
How quickly does it get you go upstairs after that?
It was pretty quick.
Can you grab the dogs?
No, the dogs were upstairs already.
Okay. Did you call 911 and let the police know that you had zipped somebody shut in a suitcase and they had not been able to get out for 20 minutes?
I did not.
Did you go to Brian's house and tell him, I had to zip Mr. Torres up in a suitcase shut. We need to do something about that before he passes.
I believe that's what the phone call was.
Okay. Well, what do you remember now about the phone call with Brian?
I know that I called him. I don't know specifically what it was about.
Now, your testimony, it seems like you spend day after day finding things to entertain Mr. Torres to do, correct?
Yes,
Almost like having a child. You have your own child, correct?
I do.
What you described sounded like having a small child. Would you agree?
That's your interpretation.
Okay. Well, you take him from doing arts and crafts to doing puzzles, so on and so forth, correct?
When he's been drinking, yes.
And Mr. Torres was notorious.
I've never in my life been drinking and thought to myself, I think it's a good time to do a puzzle and arts and crafts. That sounds like the worst thing to do if I'm trying to have a couple of drinks and have a good time. Personally, apparently this is a normal thing for them.
Notorious for doing some of these things, correct?
What do you mean?
Well, you described Mr. Torres as being notoriously known for doing things. You described your ex-husband, Brian Boone, notorious for doing things like nagging and calling all the time. You remember your testimony calling people notorious for doing things?
Yes.
What would you say people would say you're notorious for?
I don't know.
I have an idea. What do you think? Let's just ask the chat. What do you think Sarah Boone is notorious for? Personally, before the suitcase thing, I think it would be for being a alcoholic and kind of a mean person when she's drinking, and she was drinking all the time. Today, 2024, she's notorious for killing her boyfriend in a suitcase is what she's notorious for.
And you would not answer Brian Boone, your ex-husband's phone calls just so that you could let him know that you're busy and you have things going on, correct?
I knew that at whatever time it was that he was calling me, that he could wait for the few moments of me getting up to where Lucas gets out of school at 3 o'clock.
Okay. But you wouldn't return his call. You would let him call several times, correct?
That day, yes.
Okay. How about other days? Would he have to call to remind you to get Lucas on other days?
He wasn't reminding me. He was just making sure that Lucas was covered for a pickup or drop-off.
All right. You didn't mention to the sheriff's office on either February 24th or February 25th about going to Publix with Mr. Torres at noon or 12:17, did you?
I haven't described somebody as being a wino in a very long time, but that word definitely fits.
I don't recall.
So the best evidence of that would be the recording of those interviews?
Correct.
Did you not remember going to Publix with Mr. Torres that day?
At what point?
At any point?
No, I didn't.
You had indicated to the police that it was about 4 p.m. that you all had started drinking after doing chores. You recall that?
I do.
And your testimony today was that it was really more after you guys went to Publix at about 12:17 p.m., correct?
Yes.
And you did not tell the truth to the police, correct?
I'm sorry.
You did not tell the truth to the police about that, correct?
I did not.
And when they were asking you about Mr. Torres' injuries, you told them that you had nothing to do with it, correct?
Yes.
Everybody say hi to Mari. I don't think I've seen you here before, Mari. Welcome.
And that was not the truth.
Correct.
What did you all have for breakfast on the 23rd?
I don't remember.
Did you all have lunch?
I believe we had leftovers from, I think, something that we had in the fridge.
And do you recall?
Okay, I don't know if this is a fair question, and I don't want to take Sarah's side, but if you asked me what I had for breakfast on a day 4 years ago, I'm not going to remember. Even if it's a day that something memorable happened that day, I'm not sure I would remember. I'm trying to think of something that happened around 4 years ago that would be a memorable day for me. I have a pretty boring life. I don't think anything memorable happened to me in the last 4 years. Well, so even more recent than that. As you guys know, I got into a car accident on my birthday in August. That was a memorable thing that happened. I remember that day. I remember that day from the time just before the accident through the whole rest of the night, right? I couldn't tell you what I ate that day I usually don't eat breakfast. I just have coffee in the morning. But I do eat lunch, and the accident happened at like 2:30 in the afternoon. I can't tell you what I ate for lunch that day. And not only did I get into a car accident that day, it was also my birthday. So 2 things to remember that day. I don't remember at all what I ate for lunch. I can tell you what I had for dinner because it was after the accident, and my friends and family were here. Well, my husband and friends were here waiting for me to come home and eat dinner while I was at the hospital getting checked out, and my husband made a very nice dinner. So I do remember that, but I think that's an unfair question to ask what she had for breakfast that day. Let me know in the chat if you think that that's wrong.
What those were?
Not at this point, no.
And then I believe you mentioned having a sandwich of some sort for dinner?
No, I believe it was for, I'm guessing he and I ate at the same time.
And at one point, Mr. Torres called his brother Juan, correct?
Yes.
And do you admit that you were yelling in the background, telling Mr. Torres to tell his brother that he had been choking you?
I don't know if I was yelling. I know that he could hear me through the phone.
So how long had that been going on that day? When did you start getting on Mr. Torres about choking you in the past?
he and I had conversations about it because he didn't remember doing it to me. And the next day and the day of.
Is it fair to say that there are just points in time where you don't remember what you do either, correct?
Are you talking about almost 5 years ago?
I'm talking about from drinking. Is it fair to say that you don't often remember things that you did while you were drinking?
I would not say often.
Okay. In the course of your relationship with Mr. Torres, are there things you don't remember happening that happened the night before between you and him?
I can't say that at this point.
But you said that you don't remember taking that photograph at 11:03 p.m. on February 23rd, correct?
Yes.
Was there anything else that you were telling Mr. Torres that he needed to tell his brother?
Not that I can recall.
Was there anything you were telling him that he needed to tell his daughters?
Not that I can recall.
Now, you indicated that Mr. Torres would use your phone to look at pornography.
Correct.
Were there ever any points in times when it was you that was using looking at pornography?
If I was, it was to go back and look to see.
Did you ever threaten to get Mr. Torres arrested if he did not do what you wanted him to do?
I wouldn't say threaten.
Okay. Well, were there ever points in time?
She would call the cops on him. It came out in trial that she called the cops like 80 something times for dumb stuff. Dumb stuff. He wouldn't do what she wanted him to do, and she would call 911. It was insane the amount of times this woman called 911.
Times where you would like him to call you or return a call, and if he didn't do that, you would threaten to get him arrested?
It depends on if he had my keys or something that I needed from him.
Okay. And it was your townhouse, correct?
Mine, yes. Flush hours.
I just want to say, Mari, I don't know if this was a joke or not, but you said you had stopped drinking cold turkey because of an incident that happened to you. And if that is true and you are sober, congratulations. I've been sober. I mean, I still drink every now and again, but I was addicted to heroin and I have not had any drugs since 2001. So that's a big thing. And if drinking was your problem, that's great.
Wait, when did you get him off the lease?
I'm not sure what year it was, but I don't think he was actually removed from the lease.
Okay.
I think he was made a different type of tenant.
And did you change the locks so that he couldn't get back in at the points in times when you kicked him out?
I did sometimes.
And then would you leave the key in the hiding spot that he was aware of?
There were multiple hiding places.
Okay. On any of the 911 calls, did you ever mention that Mr. Torres was aware of where you kept your keys and that's how you got back into the house?
I didn't know I needed to. He would never break into my home.
All right, it's your testimony that you did not push him down the stairs, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, it was him that dragged you down the stairs the night before, correct?
Yes.
Now, by dragged, did you leave your feet?
Yes.
And did you get scrapes on your knees or anywhere from the carpet?
I'm not sure.
Did you get any injuries, like bruises or abrasions or scrapes?
I was missing a wad of my hair. Yes, that was on the stairwell.
Okay. And you agree that you were photographed on February 24th when the police came out, correct?
The day of the incident?
Well, the afternoon after the incident. We're not sure when he passed.
Yes.
Some of those photographs showed ashtrays inside your house. I thought you said you guys couldn't smoke inside your house.
We couldn't.
But you did, right?
Sometimes, yes.
And you agree you would go to the hospital and tell them things that were not true, correct?
Yes.
There were times where you would go to the hospital and leave without getting treatment, correct?
Yes.
And is it fair to say that you often had alcohol in your system when you were going to the hospital, correct?
Sometimes.
All right, so just to summarize the day to make sure we understand it. You all wake up sometime in the morning, but it's an unknown time, correct? On February 23rd.
Or early afternoon. Yes, I had a problem with the detectives and them having me guesstimate times.
Okay. Are you the kind of person like most of
One of my least favorite words that's not even in the English language is guesstimate. I thought I could not hate Sarah Boone more than I already did, and then she used that word unironically in a sentence. I kind of want to throw her down the stairs.
us that uses your phone when you wake up?
No.
So the first activity on your phone may have nothing to do with when you woke up. Is that fair for you?
Yes, other than looking at the time possibly.
Okay. So at some point you wake up, it doesn't sound like you have breakfast, correct?
Correct.
You do some chores, correct?
Yes.
So that is true. That part of it is true. You did do chores before going to Publix at 12:17?
Yes.
All right. After chores, you go to Publix and you get that 1.5 liter Magnum bottle of Woodbridge Chardonnay, correct?
I'm not sure what Magnum is.
1.5 liters. Instead of the 750s, it's the double size. It's like 2 bottles of wine.
Okay, yes.
So you got a 1.5 liter, right?
Yes, it is the larger bottle.
And you got home, and you at 100 pounds and Mr. Torres at 103 pounds began drinking this wine, correct?
I'm guessing so. I'm not going to guess times.
Well, don't guess. I mean, you got home from Publix. When was your first drink?
I'm not sure. I mean, we could have continued to do whatever was left over from what we didn't do before we went to Publix.
Okay. So you may have started drinking even later, correct?
Then
12:30 when you get back from Publix?
I don't know.
Okay. Was it 1:30 or 2:30 when you began drinking?
I don't know.
All right. Was it before any of the phone calls to the brothers and his daughters?
Yes.
I find this part so interesting, and here's why. She's so used to lying about her drinking that she thinks it looks bad if she woke up and started drinking right away in the morning. So she's lying about time going by and her doing all this productive stuff and then starting drinking. But she's on trial for murder right now, 2nd degree, but still, she's on trial for murder. And the drunker she is, like this is making her look bad. If she drank all of that 5 bottles of wine in a shorter period of time, it makes her look way worse than if it was spread out all day. But she's so used to lying about it, she just can't help herself, it feels like.
And so you drink what's left.
Also, Publix is not. Why are you going to Publix to buy wine? Because it's so much more expensive. It's just me. It's expensive at Publix, isn't it? I will go to Publix every now and again if I just need to pick up 1 or 2 things. But for regular shopping, why would you go to Publix to buy? I don't know. I would think it would be cheaper somewhere else. Let me know in the chat. If you're a wine drinker, let me know. Is the grocery store the place to buy wine? Or is it cheaper if you go like to the liquor store or something like that? Personally, if I don't really drink wine, but if I am hosting a party or something, my guests are getting wine from either Trader Joe's or Aldi, because that's how I roll.
Day before, that's halfway label, correct?
At some point.
And then you drink 1.5 liters of wine, and he goes out and gets another one on his own without your permission or suggestion about 5:30, correct?
Correct.
And then you all consume that one as well, and it ends up in the trash can at the end of the night, correct?
Apparently.
Okay. At what point in the night does your memory tape stop? You described that it wasn't on at 11:03 p.m. when that photograph was taken. What's the last thing you actually do remember prior to these videos being made?
I don't recall it at this point. I don't remember.
Okay. All right, and so it ends in hide and seek after arts and puzzles, correct?
Yes.
He says, tag, you're it, but you run and go upstairs and hide, right?
Yes.
So does that mean he's it and he's supposed to come find you?
No. That's
Okay.
just
So you both hide?
no.
Okay. How does this work?
I don't know how to tell you.
Okay.
I was it, and I went ahead.
Okay, so apparently I was mistaken. It's less expensive at the grocery store than it is from a liquor store. I didn't know that. That's I don't buy wine because I don't drink wine. So maybe I should have just kept my mouth shut.
I mean, my understanding of the rules of hide and seek is one person will be it, cover his or her eyes and count to like 20 and then go find the person that's hiding. Is that, you're familiar with the rules too, or you guys have house rules?
I can't believe we're going over the rules of hide and seek right now. This is a trial for murder, and we're going over the rules of hide and seek.
I don't know how to tell you.
Okay.
I was it, and I went and hid.
I mean, my understanding of the rules of hide and seek is one person will be it, cover his or her eyes and count to like 20, and then go find the person that's hiding. Is that your familiarity with the rules too, or do you guys have house rules?
I understand how the
Okay.
game of hide and seek
So,
works.
explain to me, what was your expectation? You go up to the shower. Were you expecting him to come find you?
I was.
Okay. And after a while, he did not come find you.
House rules
And
for
that's when you
hide and
return
seek.
downstairs?
Yes, we're talking about house rules for hide and seek. This is crazy. So her story is he tagged her, he touched her and said, "Tag, you're it." And then they both went and hid. And the prosecutor's like, as far as I know, like I haven't played hide and seek in a while, but as far as I know, only one person is supposed to hide. And it's usually the person who's not it. The person who is it is supposed to count. Like, were you just way too trash to realize like the rules of hide and seek, Sarah? What's going on here?
And because of the way your townhouse is set up, you can kind of see over where the suitcase is and that he's trying to hide in there, but it's not successfully hidden just yet.
I mean, yes, you have to come down a good ways in order to be able to
Right.
do that.
Right. But you saw, you testified those before you left the bottom.
Yes.
All right. And then you come over there and thinking that it's funny, you zip him shut, correct?
Yes, we both thought it was funny.
Okay. And the defendant stand down?
Entered into the well?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, this is the good part, guys. I wanted you to see this part.
Deputy, could we release her into the well,
I'm going
please?
to make it bigger. Here we go.
All right. Ms. Boone, can you demonstrate for the jury where Mr. Torres' head was and how his body was positioned in the suitcase, if you don't mind?
His back was this way and his head was here.
All right, and then is it fair to say his feet are kind of down here, which would be the front left corner from your perspective in the jury box?
Yes.
And then his knees are kind of tucked up towards his face?
If I remember correctly, yes, that's the position.
Okay. All right. Can you help me understand how it was that you zipped it shut? Can you show us where you say he left an opening that his hand got out of?
Would it be easier to put it on here?
I didn't want to make you go down there. If you're happy doing that, I'll let you.
Hold up. Does she need to be wearing gloves?
Yes.
Agreed. If she's going to be manipulating it.
Get her some gloves. Quick. Thank you, female bailiff, for getting the gloves. I appreciate that.
What do you want her to do?
Just look at that. The gloves fit. You don't have to acquit.
Demonstrate how she zipped it shut.
Okay, well, where's the paper clip? And do you remember what? Just when it was in?
Please demonstrate how you killed George Torres. Here's the paperclip that was on the zipper.
This side.
Judge, the paperclip was on when this event occurred. When we pulled the suitcase out earlier, the paperclip was not attached. So now the prosecutor's attached the paperclip. We don't know if that's the way it was attached.
It's not even a paperclip.
We don't know
Okay.
if that's the proper way that it was attached. But he's asking her now to pull,
Is there an objection?
yes?
Approach.
All right, approach. Oh, Leia just took out the camera. Holy cannoli. I wish there was a way to fast forward. We'll do this until they come back from their sidebar. I don't know how long it is, so I don't want to. It's very hard to skip around when it's a 3-hour-long video. I'm really good at it on my phone, not on the actual computer, so we'll do that. Oh my goodness, all the dogs are leaving. Mr. Zett came up from downstairs and they heard him. That's what's happening right now. I'm afraid to... No. Still.
If you want me to do it, I'm fine. Take your direction.
All right. Ava's here. There she is. And she... There. Oh. She's got the zoomies. Zena, get in your spot, please. Get in your spot. Thank you. Zena.
Objections overruled.
All right.
You feel most comfortable, sir.
Passport, are we ready? Can we see how it was that the two zipper parts were positioned when you say that Mr. Torres was able to get his hand out? If you want me to do it, I'm fine to take your direction.
From what I remember, this is how the suitcase was. This was up here. This is not this hard either. So this was like here,
Okay.
right here.
About right there, ma'am?
Sure.
I assume this one was much closer? It's not over there? Where do you...
You asked me where I zipped it.
When you say that it was zipped shut, show us.
Are you talking about how I zipped it, or?
When you're done zipping
With
it
the
shut
hole.
and he's inside of it, where are the zipper components?
Just tell me what it's at.
I mean, it was the corner.
She really had to work to kill him, didn't she?
It's not,
This is the suitcase.
yes, this one was on the image, yes. From what I can remember. That's how he was coming with his hand out. It was like this from the corner part.
Okay. Thank you. You can return to your seat. Did you ever change the position of those zippers once you put it in that position?
I did not.
And so once he was zipped into there, there's some amount of time, but you don't remember specifically before you start taking the 2-minute video, correct?
Yes.
And then that's when you say what you say, and that's when he says what he says. We've all heard it, correct? And then between there and that second video of the 22 seconds length, it's at this point where he's beginning to get angry, and then that's when you take the baseball bat that's in evidence, and your testimony is start poking him with the end of it.
Did you say this was the second video?
Between the two videos, that's when you started hitting him with the bat because he was getting angry and trying to escape, correct?
Right, I was not hitting him. I was, yes.
Okay. Did you ever hit him with the bat while he was outside of the suitcase?
No.
So each time that he is hit with the bat, it's through this suitcase And that's what leaves the marks on him, because you didn't hit him with the bat outside the suitcase, correct?
Yes, can I demonstrate?
No, that's okay. The suitcase will speak for itself.
Yes, have her demonstrate how she hit it with the bat, please. Why did he say no to that? She offered to demonstrate how she hit him with the baseball bat in the suitcase, and the lawyer says no. I mean, for entertainment purposes alone, we should be doing that. Trucker 70, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. You know what that means? It says, congratulations on your recovery. Trucker's been clean of meth since June of 2002. Congratulations on your sobriety. I only have 2 dogs here right now out of the 4, so they will get milk bones. And let's do this so you can see them. There we go. Here goes Zena. That's from Trucker. And Luke is here too. Hi, Luke. There we go. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Luke appreciates it. Zena appreciates it. And I appreciate it. By the way, if you're new here, that's what we do when anybody supports the channel. The pack of dogs that I have all get a mini milk bone.
And then you take the second video and you go upstairs and go to bed, correct?
I apparently went upstairs and I used the phone to make a phone call,
Okay.
and then I fell asleep.
All right. And at the point in time when you left and went upstairs, he was still inside the suitcase, correct?
Correct.
Was he still asking for you and calling your name?
Not that I can recall.
Did you say shh to him again?
I don't remember.
Did you tell him that this was his problem and it's on you again?
I don't remember.
Did you do anything to help him escape from the predicament that you zipped him up in?
No.
No other questions.
Any redirect examination?
Ms. Boone, he just asked you the question that you poked him, and you didn't poke it. You poked every time you poked him hard with the bat, he was inside the briefcase,
The suitcase, yes.
the suitcase. But you remember when he put his hand out, did you not hit him in the hand outside the suitcase?
Yes.
Okay. So that was the only time the bat touched Mr. Torres's body outside the suitcase,
Yes.
was when you hit him with a hand. But all the other injuries were with you poking him pretty hard. I mean, you bruised your hand, correct? Doing that. Thank you.
Crazy, crazy testimony. Woo! So that was the cross-examination and the follow-up from her lawyer, which didn't do her any favors, by the way. I want to show you some videos that they played at the end of the day on Thursday, because it really gives you a feeling for what was happening inside of this house. These are, Sarah loved to pull out her cell phone and film George, and it does not make her look good at all. So I want you guys to kind of get a feel for how they lived.
State, you may proceed.
States 21's DVD, and its main folder is labeled a folder of attachments, and then there's a file labeled extraction going into folder attachments. First file being published is IMG_0665.mov. Date modified metadata indicates 12/3/2019, 2:05 p.m.
Whenever you leave the house, just let me know where you're going.
And you're gonna let me leave?
Yes. Just let me know where you're going.
And I get to leave the house?
Yes.
Exit?
Just let me know where you're going.
Does this sound unreasonable to anybody else? When you're in a committed relationship and living with somebody, when you're leaving, let me know where you're going. Because I've been married for 17 years and we've never had to speak this rule out loud. We just sort of do it because we love each other and worry about each other. So if I don't just go and get in the car and leave and not tell Mr. Zed, hey, I'm going to the store, or I'm going to the gas station, or I have to run this errand or that errand, I let him know. So if I go missing, he knows where to look for me. Like it's crazy. It's not unreasonable in my opinion. When you're living with somebody, even if it's not a significant other that you're living with. If I when my mom had surgery, I stayed with her for like a week. If I was going to leave, I would let her know, "Hey, I'm running to the store to pick up dinner. I'll be back in a few minutes." And I was just there a week, you know?
So at least I know where you're at.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I love you.
So it's not yank me back in the house and sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up?
No.
Yank.
No. Just let me know where you're going so I know where you're at. So if you don't come back, there's no certain time. You don't have to come home at a certain time because I'm not. You're grown up. I just want to know that if it does surpass a certain time, that's like shit. Where's she at? I know where you told me you were going to be at. So that way I can go.
So I'm not allowed to have friends?
Yes. Nobody said you can't have friends.
I can just go see Boo.
You can go see whoever. I just don't want you to go frolicking with male friends.
Reasonable, George.
By yourself because you know what's happened already.
Especially if she has a history of cheating. I don't want you hanging out with male friends by yourself because of what happened, which in my mind, that means that she's cheated on him before or was whoring around or whatever. Personally, I'm allowed to hang out with male friends because I don't have a history of whoring around. Because I have the opposite of that. So, but this doesn't seem unreasonable to me at all. And she's making it sound like her tone of voice is making it sound like this is just abusive for him to say, "Hey, let me know where you're going. Don't hang out with guys alone." Like that is constitute abuse in her head.
You understand what I'm saying?
So I get to go see Boo.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I get to go see Boo.
I don't care about Boo. You can go to see Boo. Do you understand what I'm saying though?
Next video is a long file name that starts with 2A494, and it's the only one that will show up with that search. Date modified indicates 12/29/19, 12:26 p.m.
Fuck you.
I don't know what the fuck you talking about, dude.
Let's just tell everybody you got crumpled on the bed.
Crumpled? Crumpled. The word you're using is crumpled? Alright. Alright, so this is my sheesh, you gotta put it all over my face, dude. I know you're filming me, but you gotta put it all. What the fuck is that? Stop.
Bum rushed.
Yeah, you're bum.
I bum rushed you.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways.
What was the choice?
So the choice was to beat your ass or get my ass beat or whatever.
No.
Huh?
Twas.
Huh?
Twas.
Twat?
Twas.
I like twat. I've been trying to get twat from this woman. I've been trying. there. And she's on some other shit. What's going on? She's trying to film me, filming her, and blah, blah, blah.
I'm cooler than you.
No, yeah, you are. You are cooler than me. You are cooler than me. She is cooler than me. She is. Beyond cooler than me.
Oh, I want to get this on film tape. Did I take your cigarettes tonight?
No.
Did I take your cigarettes to the beach?
No.
Then who was blaming on?
You. I blame it on you. Sorry. I apologize. Can I walk around this way and actually film it better? I don't want darkness because you're not dark. Ah, oh, there she goes. There she goes. What are you filming? You filming me filming you?
I think they were both drunk most of the time.
You filming me filming you.
What's the latest thing you've done me wrong by?
Man, I watched porno. Wait. It stopped.
My husband.
What's up? I was watching porno. She don't like that. I'm not shrugging my shoulders or anything like that. Like it's not no big deal.
After you begged and pled and cried.
Yeah.
We trust you.
I know. I'm not shrugging my shoulders.
Say it. Beg. Pled. Cried.
You begged.
I didn't. You did.
Well, whatever. Okay, yeah, I did.
Say it.
I begged and
Pled.
And cried.
For me to trust you.
For you to trust me. But, again, I'm not sure.
Did you?
Did I watch porno again? Yes, I did. But.
Good.
I can imagine living like that every day.
3BB0C. Metadata shows date modified 12/29, 12:36 p.m. of 2019.
Yeah. So you remember this. Are you drunk right now?
No, man.
How much alcohol did you drink?
Enough to be drunk.
You're slurring your words. You're sleeping up against the door right now.
Yeah, because I want to be next to you.
Did I not tell you to not bother me?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is it you come up and do? What time is it right now? It's 1:20 a.m.
Okay. I haven't bothered you since then. I just go to sleep.
But didn't I tell you before at 9:30 to not bother me at all?
Yes.
Because why?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Nope. Because I've been up since 4 a.m. since yesterday when you fucked with me.
Yes, ma'am.
I know how much vodka was in that bottle. And what's the bottle now?
Kind of to throw it out.
What does that mean?
One more drink.
The bottle's empty. I know how much vodka was in there. Enough for 2 people to have a really good time. And who drank it? I want it to be documented that I'm leaving you, which means that you're getting out. You're getting out. You're getting out.
Nobody's leaving nobody. Stop.
And the reason why you were even downstairs and weak enough to get drunk was because you don't give a shit about me. You don't listen to what I say. Special things that I keep on my front page of my phone so I remember to tell you about it because of how special and fun it is. I always bother you. I always bore you. You don't listen to me. Yesterday was my first day at work, remember? And I ended up 90% hearing about your day and 10% about mine.
You don't bother me or anything. So sometimes you just you overwhelm me. That's the problem. You overwhelm me.
By telling you about my first day at work?
No, dude, you just overwhelm me about every other thing too. Not just first day at work.
So I'm overwhelming you by telling you about the 4th highest paid baseball player. That's a client of ours.
I'm not starstruck.
I don't even know who the guy is.
I don't need.
So the reason why, so you fully admit now that you didn't care and you did brush me off in the car. Midway sentence. Because you're not into baseball.
No, I didn't. I'm just saying.
I want to go to sleep. Go downstairs.
Yeah. I know.
I'm leaving you, and I'm going to try and cancel plane tickets.
No.
Because I don't do special things for people like you that are doing this. Like, to me, after I asked you at 1:21 in the morning,
I'm not doing it.
I wanted to be asleep. I wanted to stay asleep, which is why I got into bed at 8:30.
I know, I'm not doing it.
I told you not to step foot in the bedroom. So what do? Nonetheless, you're drunk. The amount of alcohol, I know how much was alcohol. I know how much was in it. That's why I could smell you in the bed before you actually got me up. I can smell you from here. You're despicable.
I'm not despicable. I'm not even doing anything.
Leave me alone.
Okay.
You're not going to remember shit. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not doing nothing right now.
Get away from me. Get away from me.
I'm not doing nothing to you.
You do everything to me all the time. All the time. Heartache and pain is what you cause me. Heartache and pain.
How is that?
Keep going. And I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. You get on your fucking little bike and go to fuck you work tomorrow. Don't look at me. Don't come close to me. Don't touch me. Do you understand?
What do you mean?
As of this moment, and until I can get you out, get the fuck
out of here.
I dare you. Yep, look at it. Like, get away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me. I'm gonna scream bloody murder. I'm gonna scream bloody murder. I will scream bloody murder. Get away from me.
Dude, nobody's doing anything.
I'm gonna fucking hurt you.
Nobody's doing anything. And you're filming it.
Let me go.
Nobody's doing anything.
I'm asking you, George, to get away from me. Please get away from me. Get away from me.
Yeah, I am. That was your function, dude. Malfunction. No, your malfunction is you, dude.
Okay, whatever you say. Whatever you say. Holy shit, the whole hallway just reeks of you up here. First it's shit, now it's alcohol. Don't step foot in this bedroom. I can't even breathe. Like, it's disgusting. Like, it's disgusting.
Keep filming when it's fucking money. Good night, Sarah. Love you.
I don't love you. I don't like you. I don't want to be with you.
Was crazy to me. He was obviously drunk. I don't know how drunk she was. She may not have been drunk at all, but he was asleep in the hallway because she told him not to come to bed, and he went and fell asleep in the hallway. And then she came out. She could have just stayed in her room. But she came out to antagonize him, and he was just like a lost puppy. It was crazy to me. And then he tried to grab her phone, and she's going to scream bloody murder, she says. It's insane. It's crazy, crazy behavior on her part.
Next video starts 456. That's the only file that starts with that. Date modified metadata, 12/29/2019, 4:04 p.m.
And I'm not going to have no Hindenburg situation, no Titanic situation, okay? So it's going to be a good day. Yes, I'm missing my mustache right now. And later on, everything's going to go off. Truth. Facts. Truth and facts. All of this is going to be missing later on. We'll take another video again later on when it happens. Love y'all, whoever watches this video.
No, that's not approved.
The FDA says it's approved.
So it's going to be a good day all day?
Yes, it is. Even when I
all day.
Shave all of this
all
off.
Day.
Yes. Even when I shave all of this off.
All day.
It's going to be an amazing day.
It's what time right now?
Shaboing boing.
I would say 9:30. 7 o'clock maybe.
Shaboing boing. That's what we're doing later on. Shaboing boing. You can stop filming now.
Not good enough.
It's gonna be a great day. Today's a great day to have a great day. Boom. Cut. Somebody come in with a. Can somebody come in with a? Can you not?
Next file is image_093.mov. Metadata date modified 1/3/2020, 2:48 p.m.
It's 6:13 and I asked him not to play music. Because I told him that I was going to go to shit.
I'm not sure what that music was about. Maybe he was, or what that video was about. I think maybe he was playing his music too loud for her liking. I'm not sure. Although if you live in an apartment building, you probably shouldn't be playing your music that loud.
Next file is image img_0975.mov. Metadata shows date modified, January 19th, 2020, 2:58 p.m.
Time. Sirens, 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 sirens. Sirens and sirens and sirens. And this cop car.
How about you get an umbrella and call me Camille underneath it?
Yeah, how about we forget about that? No, we won't.
I'll never be.
No. How about we keep going on? Okay, how about this? When beautiful Lucas is here, we don't listen to none of that. I don't want to hear sirens. It's just beep, 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 all that, whatever. I want to listen to that. It's every single day. Beeping and we hear enough of it out here in reality.
Are you gonna be nice tonight?
Yes. Yes. I promise you, I used to choose
Go for a walk.
by myself.
Yes.
No.
Go for a walk.
No, I'm just gonna chill out.
She speaks to him like he's a dog. Every single one of these interactions, she's speaking to him like he's a dog. Go for a walk. Ordering him to do things. I just can't imagine speaking to somebody like that. Even somebody I didn't like, and she allegedly loved this man. I can't imagine speaking to somebody I didn't like this, let alone, according to her, the love of her life. Do people talk to each other like this? Is this normal? This is not normal in my world.
If that's the case, I'll just chill out. So much, like, this.
Don't ever be a woman.
How can I be a woman?
Don't ever.
I can't. But I can somewhat understand.
Don't ever.
I can somewhat understand. Somewhat understand. I can somewhat understand, yes, where you're coming from. But when you have a child and it's like right now, this is too much. But we had a blast with him. Amazing.
Then you got out of sorts and pushed me, and he stole my phone and called Graham.
I got out of sorts. Why is it that I got out of sorts?
You pushed me.
I pushed you. I didn't push you.
That was close. I almost spoke with the mic muted. By the way, none of this abuse that she alleges is on camera. The only thing that she pulled out her phone to record is recording him and her saying things that you pushed me, or you threw me down the stairs, or you did this and you did that. And he never says like, oh, I'm sorry I did that, or whatever. The only video, which I think is coming up in this sequence, is he did take a baseball bat to the TV. He was angry and he took the baseball bat, the one that bruised, like the exact same bat that we talked about earlier, where she was hitting his hands while he was trying to open the suitcase, and he beat up the living room TV. So just imagine every time you're trying to have a conversation with somebody, they pull out their phone and just start filming you like this. Like, that's just annoying. He's just trying to be normal.
How do I get out of sorts all of a sudden? I don't want to hear it.
You drink too much and you're upset.
Drink too much.
Go get your fuck card shaped.
What are you talking about?
Your retard paper. Don't hit women.
Have I hit you? No. So where are you going with this?
I'm turning this off.
Tell me whatever else you have off. I get it. You can film me, take a picture of whatever you want.
You can tell you're automatically drunk.
I'm not doing.
Do I ever get a buzz? No, I don't.
I'm not doing anything to you.
No, I
Sarah.
never do.
I'm not doing anything to you, Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
Sarita. I'm not doing anything to you.
Yet.
It's not a yet. I will not.
Mr. J.
It is 5:28, and we have 3 minutes and 49 seconds of videos if the jury is capable of staying.
I got a thumbs up from the jury. You may proceed, sir.
Next image or movie is img_1011.move. Metadata shows date modified 2/2/2020, 11:42 p.m.
Hi, my fan. This is what happens. I'm going upstairs to ask for where my car keys are. Because it takes me all the time. Where are my car keys? Where are my car keys? Where are my car keys?
Where are you always at? What are you talking about?
No, they're not. You took them.
Sarah, I didn't take your car keys. David,
Where are my car keys?
where they at? All the time. What in the world are you talking about? They're in the. They're there with it.
No, they're not.
Sarah. They're at the.
No, they're not. You took them. I watched you walk away with them.
Why would I take your freaking car keys?
Oh, you're not gonna curse now?
What are you talking about?
You took my car keys.
I didn't take your car keys.
You did.
Movie starting with file name B51, long file name. Metadata shows 12/29/2019, 4:04 p.m. modified.
I'm gonna go to court and I'm gonna tell the judge, listen, my fiance has nothing to do with it. It's all my fault. We were both drinking and it got out of hand. It's an isolated situation. It has never happened before. I love my fiance. She's a good woman. Never been in trouble in her life. She has a 7-year-old son that she loves and cherishes.
A blind Boston Terrier.
She has 2 dogs. One is blind, one is deaf. She goes around and she's driving and sees an animal that's injured. She'll stop in the middle of the street, no matter what kind of traffic it is, just to make sure that that animal doesn't get injured any more than where it already has. We both love each other. We both live together. Yes, every relationship has their arguments, but we are not the type of people that you guys are portraying us to be.
She especially.
Especially her. So please, if you can,
Dismiss.
Dismiss this case.
Closed.
Drop it. She is not that type of person.
Good person.
She's a great person.
Angel.
I know she'd be an angel. But she's close to it.
Best thing that has ever happened to you.
Yes, ma'am. And I love you to death. And I hate that we're going through this.
Saw it.
What?
And they did.
You're good. I love you, baby. Whatever you want to say. God will prevail, and He will take us out of this situation. Love you.
That'll be it for today, Judge.
All right.
She's feeding him lines because she was arrested. There was a domestic battery incident, which, by the way, if you go on my videos on my channel, I have the body cam footage for that, uncut raw. And they ended up both going to jail. And she's basically witness tampering in this video. She's witness tampering and also recording it, which is crazy to me. I don't want us to forget how we got here. So I'm going to play this one more time. I know we played it the last time we talked about Sarah Boone, but it's short. And then we're going to get to the verdict.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
You.
Sarah.
You.
Sarah.
Stupid.
Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
Sarah. I can't breathe, babe. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me.
Sarah. 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 Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
That's on you.
Sarah, I can't breathe.
It's on you.
Sarah.
Reel around some. Might want to get paid for it extra. Because I got this.
Sarah.
Reel around
Sarah. Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
Oh. That's what I feel like when you jingle me.
Sarah. Please, Sarah.
Yeah. You should probably shut up.
Sarah.
Shh.
Sarah.
So that's what got us here. And here's where it ended. This happened on Friday evening, very late in the day. I want to say it was like 9:30. The jury was out for about an hour and a half. I believe they had dinner in there somewhere as well. And this is where they came back.
Let's go ahead and bring in our jury. Everyone will remain seated.
I wish there was a camera at her face so I could see her face when they read the verdict. Unfortunately, all we get is this side view, which is sad.
State, do you recognize our jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, do you recognize our jury? Members of the jury, you may be seated. Thank you. Members of our jury, good evening. I understand that you've come to a verdict in this case.
Yes.
If you could please hand the verdict form to the deputy, please. Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, if you could please publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 9th Judicial Circuit in Orange County, Florida, case number 2020 CF 2603, the state of Florida versus Sarah Boone. Verdict. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the second degree as charged in the information. So say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, on this 25th day of October 2024. The form has been signed by the foreperson.
Madam Clerk, please poll our jury.
Juror seat number 1, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror seat number 2, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror seat number 3, is this your true
Yes,
and
it
correct
is.
verdict? Juror seat number 4, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror seat number 5, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror seat number 6, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Members of our jury, again, I want to thank you for your time, your sacrifice, and your attention in this matter. I know that we spent almost 2 weeks together, and it was not taken lightly, and I really appreciate the time and the effort and the sacrifice that you put into this case. I want to advise you now of your final instruction. Members, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you for your time.
He just goes through the last minute of this is just doing his jury spiel. But that's it. That's the show tonight. What did you guys think of Sarah Boone? I know this was an unusual Crimeland because we only covered Mr. Peacock and Sarah Boone, and I usually have a lot of other stories. But that's all I have for you today. There will be a show sometime this week, and I don't know. We don't have a set day for it, but Kfar and I will probably do a booze and body cam sometime throughout the week. And then Friday the 1st. Am I doing something Friday the 1st? I don't think I don't remember. Dang it. I didn't write it down on my dry erase board. And I thought, I think Friday the 1st I'm streaming with Colin. Do you guys know who Colin is? Not Cromwell? I believe that is on Friday the 1st of November. And then, of course, next Sunday at 4:30 Eastern, I'll have something for you. I'm not sure what. This week I was planning on doing an episode about a dude that poisoned his kids at Halloween, and I kind of put that off because of all this Sarah Boone stuff that happened. So maybe we'll cover that. Maybe we'll do an actual proper Crimeland episode, like with different news stories. I have a lot. It's stacking up. I haven't done a Crimeland episode in a while, so they're stacking up in my Discord. So we'll probably end up doing that next week. We'll see. I might add in the Halloween thing as well. I know it'll be a couple of days after Halloween, but what are you going to do? Anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and we will see you, I'm guessing Wednesday, not sure, but we'll see you sometime this week for booze and body cams. Thank you all so much for coming. We'll see you next time. Oh, it'd help if I had the buttons up to click. Okay, sorry. Let's try that outro again. Thanks everybody for coming. We will see you next time.
First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man, Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Won't you solo go show off your photos, throw out your Twinkies, throw up your ho-hos, tuck in them pinkies, them shits a no-no. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Brought to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8 subscriber, I'm a fagoso. Jump in them sinkies and dump them mimosos.